Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to our podcast. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I am dressed in my workout gear because that's where I'm going right after this.
Nice.
And I'm drinking raspberry bubbly, so sparkling water.
Oublé.
And I'm going to be ready to go soon as we're done here, off to the gym.
Okay.
And once you tell me what you're drinking, I'm going to tell you why I'm off to the gym.
Okay.
I know. You can coach me through this.
Water. That's it.
Water.
And I didn't even spring for like a fancy cup. I mean, I have my little Wonder Woman cup, but okay. So what's up?
I got to tell you this story. So I knew that after the 90-day challenge was over, I knew that I didn't have it. Like I didn't get it. I wasn't like on top of things to the point where I was doing them automatically. So I added on another 30 days because ideally what I wanted was to have two goals, one for weight loss and one for my business.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that at the beginning I couldn't do both or I'd fuck it up. That was my belief.
Yeah, that's all it was. A story you continue to tell yourself.
Right. I felt like I couldn't do that. So on day 121, so the next, after my 4 months, I started another 90 days and it was a business goal. But I continued on with my first one. But I wasn't doing the mindset towards myself, my body, weight loss. I started doing mindset work or, journaling on my business. What happened? My weight loss stalled for an entire month. I stayed consistent. I wasn't gaining. I mean, gain like a pound, lose a pound.
Yeah.
But it stalled my weight loss. My actions didn't change. I was going to the gym, but I loved the gym less. And in a way, I wasn't journaling out my fuck, why is my weight loss not going down? What do I need to do? How do I feel about it? Is there something I need to shift? Like I used to journal out all of those thoughts so that I would come to clarity by the end and then I would feel good. And that's how I started my day.
Yeah.
But when I shifted goals, I completely turned away from all thoughts or all of the mindset piece about my weight loss. And it just went flatlined. So what does this say to me and my subconscious mind? Sandra, you can't do two goals at once. There's no fucking way that you can do two things at once because you're not able to. You can't. You got to focus on one thing. What do you want? What do you want? Business, successful business, or to feel good in your body?
Both.
Is that not shocking? Of course I want both and more. But it was like,
but you're only capable of one thing at a time.
That's the way my brain went. Isn't that fascinating? It's like, it's a core belief that I've held, a core agreement that I've held for so long.
That's nonsense.
Yeah. Except I don't know how to change it. I mean, I can change my thought about it for sure. But I feel as though what I need to do in this meantime is shift my journaling practice to include both. Because I think that I'm just not there in my mindset yet.
Can I do a session for you on that?
Yes. Go for it. Okay. How much fun is this going to be?
I know.
Always it's fun for you to therapize me on a podcast live. Okay.
But we do. We make up those bullshit stories. oh, I can only do one thing at a time. I have to choose. Do I want to be healthy and fit and feel fabulous? Or do I want to make a shit ton of money?
Mhm.
Can't have both. What bullshit is that?
You know what? Okay, I'm just going to stop you there. The other thing is that I had seen so many women that I had worked with, like in masterminds and things, gain a fuck ton of weight,
Mm-hmm.
more clients they got. So the busier they were in their business, the more weight they gained.
Yep.
And then we made this agreement that I can't have both in that way too. So it's not only like I can't work on both things at the same time because I don't know, too ADHD, but also if I have one, I can't have the other in a different way, like in a success way. Agreement confirmed, right? Like that's what our brains do.
You bought
Agreement
a
confirmed.
lie.
I bought a lie.
You watched women that were successful in one area really well. And when they became success, that was all of their focus.
Yeah.
They stopped caring about all of the other things. It wasn't that they couldn't do both. They didn't do both.
It's just shitty boundaries, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not allowing yourself to be a priority when everyone else becomes it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was
Yeah.
a lady when I first got into weight loss, and she had gone through the program at this particular center. And I think she lost like 120 or 130 pounds.
Oh
Like
my gosh, good for her.
she lost,
Wow. The
I
commitment to that, right?
yes. And then when she got to her goal weight, she's like, I want to come work here. And so they hired her. Well, she then became the poster child for this company.
Oh,
They sent her to New York for the Today Show. She was
wow.
on all of the posters in all of the centers in the United States.
Oh my God.
She was everywhere. And she moved up in the company. And then they moved her to like the center manager role. And when she got into that role, she forgot all of her food rules. She started eating fast food. She started doing all of these things that she did prior. Stopped working out. She's too busy.
Yeah.
Got this business to run. They end up promoting her to where she's now like this area supervisor role. And she's probably as big as she was in the beginning. They are taking her pictures down in the centers because when she walks in, people are looking at her and looking at the picture like, oh shit.
This isn't going to work long term. This only works for a short period of time.
Yeah. Yeah. And my heart broke for her because she was
Absolutely.
so angry. And I remember feeling so bad for her, like not only for all of the pressure that she was under, but for caving under it. And
Mhm.
I mean, it would be hard to walk in and see the best pictures of you that have ever been taken and realize that was just a pipe dream.
You know, maybe I've talked about this before on the podcast a few years ago, but when I was a coach for Beachbody, I worked with a few women who were bodybuilders. Like they had done on stage
Yeah.
bodybuilding fitness, and it fucks them up so much, or for these particular women, but I've read that this is very common because when they stand on stage and when they get their pictures taken, it is the pinnacle, right? Like they have done such extreme dieting to cut up and to lose all of the water weight and everything so that by the time they step on the stage,
And they're spray tanned and
oh yeah, by the time they're there, it's like, it's not sustainable at all for life.
No.
And, but then they look at those pictures and they go, I'm not that good anymore.
Yeah.
Even the next day,
Yeah. Yeah.
look at themselves and
Wash
go,
that
look
tan
how much
off.
I let myself go. Right.
Yeah.
And so I feel for this woman too, because imagine how devastating that would be to her self-esteem, to her self-confidence, just like to everything.
And embarrassment that all of these people can
Yeah.
see my
Right.
my deepest pain,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Right. Well, imagine Oprah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
She
I mean,
pulls
that's a little
out,
bit bigger scale.
it's a bigger scale. But I mean, she was on the Today Show. Okay. But like, pulling, which that episode when she pulled out that wagon of fat, remember how like she was so fit and she was wearing her skinny jeans and she just looked amazing, and she's dragging out this wagon of fat. And then for her, I mean, I've seen her talk about, or I've heard her talk about this, seen her talk about this, like
Mhm.
how that wasn't sustainable. How small she was at that time wasn't sustainable. And she was celebrating it, but she kind of got there in a like fucked up sort of a way, and then gained it all back. And this like public view of her gaining and losing and gaining and losing, and how people saw her was so different, she felt, right? I mean, and publicly, because everyone was
But
judging her belief.
for me, seeing her succeed and fail and succeed and over and over and over showed me you don't fucking give up.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
she didn't hide her head in shame, and she didn't cancel her show and say, I can never go out in public again. Which, what an example for us when we fall short
And really fuck the haters. I mean, like, you can't,
all
what
day.
you do at this point, people are just assholes sometimes, and you can't fix them.
Mm.
Going to, you
And
can,
their assholeness is not about you.
no,
It's
no,
about what's going on in their teeny
exactly.
tiny little mind.
Exactly. But it was such yeah, it was such an interesting thing for me, I feel, to watch even as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And I think how lucky I was to be shaped by Oprah.
100%.
Really, because I think now the noise, there's a lot of noise.
Mm-hmm.
There's a there's a great deal of noise in the online space, all over the internet and TikTok, and you've got like skinny talk, and you've got like body positivity, and you've got all of these things and all of these different competing messages and methods and weight loss, and like it's not just about weight loss, but like mindset and everything is competing.
Yeah.
And whereas when Oprah was on my TV, I
Was
had
it?
two fucking channels. That was really all there was. And so what I loved about Oprah was her ability to bring these thought leaders
Mm-hmm.
and these authors onto her stage and ask them why they see the world in the way that they do. And it just opened me up to new ways of seeing things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love the way that she not only showed up all the time, no matter her size, but talked about it and
It
how she
wasn't a secret.
wasn't a secret.
Mm-mm.
It is fascinating to me because I do have this belief of, and in several ways, that belief has been rewarded, I would say, by truth, right? Or by fact that I think provides my subconscious shitty belief, limiting belief as evidence.
Well,
And
that's what your brain does.
That's what our brain does.
That's what it does.
And so today I'm like, okay, now I'm sitting in this space of this is an unwanted limiting belief, but also, is it the way my brain works? Am I too fucking ADHD to be able to focus on two things at once? Like, how do I break this? I mean, I'm going to do this with journaling and things, but how do I break this pattern in my brain so that I can focus on both?
Mhm.
Because I'm trying to combine them so that I like two, like kill two birds with one stone.
Why would you kill a bird?
I don't like birds. They freak me out, but still,
Oh,
you know what I
got it.
mean? Two squirrels with one stone. It's like I'm in my brain going, okay, what do I believe about this? And how can I adjust my belief to fit my goal? Both of them.
Subconscious work for sure, but
Mhm.
you've got to come to the hard question of, do I use this stupid ADHD thing
Mm.
as a reason not to fully show up? Oh, I can't. I'm too
Motherfucker.
ADHD.
Hate victim and excuses.
And
And I can
it
see how
is
I
a super power.
yes, all learning disabilities are because
Yeah.
we think differently, right? Like we think differently.
But
Mhm.
there are these labels and these beliefs about autism, ADHD, the stuff, all the different diagnoses. And
Yep.
they're somehow less than, and they're disabilities
Yep.
because they can't really fully live. Bullshit. Like,
Well,
you
I
bought
can
a
think of
lie, Sandra.
I can name not thousands. I can't name thousands, but I can name off the top of my head some of the most successful people, right?
Mhm.
Jennifer Aniston, Henry Winkler, the Fonz is like famous. I met him at the Learning Disabilities Association. He's writing books, but he cannot read. Like really, Tom Cruise, Sylvester Stallone, I believe, Einstein. I mean, if we go back to some of the most important
Yeah.
inventors, because they think differently, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so the
Tap into that.
the focus that I need is like, how can I use it, but
Mhm.
also reprogram this belief that I'm stuck.
There is a guy, and again, if I had my phone, if it wasn't on the charger,
Neither of us have our phones. I know it's weird.
there is a guy on Facebook and he's on Reels and he pops up all the time. And he asked, there's usually somebody watching him, like it's him on one screen, somebody else kind of watching on another. And he is asking some app, ask the Akashic Records what the truth is behind ADHD or behind autism. And oh my gosh, when I see it, I'll send it to you. It is absolutely beautiful. But
Really?
that's what we need to flip the script on and tell a new story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if it's going to define you, let
Well,
it define you as a badass creator that,
it's so strange that I would use it as an excuse. Although I'm going to give myself a little grace here. It's not like an excuse so I can't. It's like a reason for me to need to do it differently, but I'm not entirely sure. And I just like how, right?
yeah.
But what I will say is, I would say that being dyslexic and not being confident in what I read, because I will, especially if I'm reading out loud,
Mhm.
has allowed me to step into this, I don't know, trusting the universe to just use
Mm,
the right words.
yeah.
Because when I step on stage, I don't have notes. And what's always I get, like when I spoke at a Super Saturday for Beachbody, it was so funny because when I went to do that, I was asked, do you want to speak at the Super Saturday? There will be about 200 people there. Sure, no problem. It's in Edmonton. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. Yep, I'm going to say yes before my brain says, what the fuck, right?
Right.
So I agreed to it. And then there's a message. Corporate is coming to this one, Sandra.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Good.
fuck. Corporate's going to be there. Perfect. Okay. Next one was, oh, Sandra, you're going to be sharing the stage with this guy who everyone adored. He was a Beachbody coach that everyone absolutely fucking loved. He was all over YouTube. Everyone knew him. Not only Beachbody coaches knew of him, but also like customers. And I'm like, oh, seriously. Now I'm going against this. I am the front runner.
And were
for
you first or last? Like, were
I
you
was
before?
first. I was,
Oh, well, at least you didn't have to follow him. But didn't you like rock it?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what was interesting was when I stood up there, I had no idea what was going to come out of my mouth. Like I had literally probably rehearsed my speech 20 times, but every time was different because I didn't have notes. So I would just speak and every time was different. And I literally, when I went up on the stage, I thought, wonder how this is going to go. I wonder what I'm going to say today because
What's coming out?
it was always so different. And even the messaging was the same, but the examples I gave, the things that I said was different. And when I stood up there, and like, honestly, this corporate ass, he kind of dismissed me because he talked to me and said, what is your goal? And I said, well, my goal is to stand on stage at Summit, like in front of 50,000 people. He was like, you know, I just like, okay, little girl, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I came down, he said, okay, let's talk about you speaking at Summit. This is what I need you to do. And it was like so validating for me. And it was because I didn't have fucking notes. This dude went up, he had notes. He had notes on the floor. He stumbled, he stuttered. He didn't know really what he was going to say. He lost his space. And I mean, no, like that could have happened to me if I had notes, to be honest with you. It would have happened.
Where is that line?
Yeah. And there was no podium. So he had his notes on the ground, which would have affected me for sure. I wouldn't have been able to see it. It was funny because when people came up to me and said, how did you fucking do that? You just spoke for 40 fucking minutes and you didn't have one note there. Like superpower, dyslexia. If I had written out my notes, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
I think that is the way your brain works, and it is magical. And when you just let that shit flow, not that it's shit, but you know what I mean. When you
But
just allow it.
I think it's that because I am dyslexic and I don't appreciate reading, I have like other strengths that show up. That's what I mean by that. So it's like if I were blind, I would have stronger taste, I would have stronger
Or hearing, or yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I kind of feel like it does. Now
Enhance.
it's scary because what's going to come out of my mouth? Like you just kind of got to live in faith, right? But this is the thing that it's like, if I am struggling, this is where I'm going with it, is like, is this completely false that I can't do two things at once? Is it completely false that my
Spoiler
brain
alert.
or is it my brain doesn't like that and this is how I should do it differently?
There might be ways to adapt for sure. But
Yeah.
the idea that you cannot do both at the same time is
Yeah, it's bullshit.
complete and utter bullshit
Yeah, it's a total limiting belief that I've
to
leaned
keep
on
you small
way too fucking long.
because you can do more than two things at a time. Can.
Yeah, so
I am I am writing one book. I am finishing another. I've got my marketing guy going, we've got to get this done so we can get this done. And I'm preparing for a presentation of one of my books at a breakfast next month. I'm running a business and doing volunteer work in the community. You can figure it out. Oh, and I still pick 20 weeds a day because they don't stop growing. I could probably pick 100 a day. Not really, but maybe. But you'll find your way.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets fun, is when you're like, okay, universe, okay, angels, okay, God, dazzle me. I need to get all this stuff done. Lead me in the best, quickest, fastest, most efficient way to get me from where I am to there and get all of that done.
Right.
And maybe someone shows up to say, hey, let me take this off your plate today. You've got a lot going on. Let me do this for you. Oh, okay. It's like Abraham's telling a story about when we're little and we have to walk 2 miles uphill in the snow to get to school.
Right. Oh.
We can do it. We have the ability to bundle ourselves up and climb that 2 mile hill and get to school. Well, we know what time to leave. But if someone pulls up that we know, so let's say Sally's parents are taking them to school and they see us walking, they're going to stop the car and go, hey, you want to ride? We're not going to say, no, I need to do this. We're going to get our ass in the car and we're going to use their
Flagging Sally down. Pull over.
What time are you leaving tomorrow, Sally? I'll meet you out here. But we do that in real life where we're like, the universe just supplies all of these resources. No, I need to do this on my own. I need to suffer a little bit.
Well, and that is what happened in the first 90 days. I just let go and let the universe take over, right? I just watched for signs, and when the walking track was closed, I just walked past. I tried all of these other options. Well, maybe I can walk outside. No, it's too icy. Maybe I can walk in this place. No, that's closed too. There's the gym. Right. So it was really the universe just it just felt like gently,
very gently
guiding me.
Yeah.
Just followed like a good girl.
Yeah.
Like, okay, there it is. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Oh, I don't have my wallet. Oh, but I do have it on my phone. Okay, no excuses. Let's go. And I did feel so like with such flow and with such ease and alignment and gentleness. And so I can just open up and just say, okay, like I need an answer. I'm going to open up for your gentle guidance.
Yeah. Yeah.
See what happens.
Because
from now until next week, I'll have the answer.
That's the best part, is just saying, okay, tell me, show me, and watching it.
That is what you did with respect to your business location.
Yeah.
It is what you did. It's just like, I'm just going to trust that I'm going to
Everything always works out for me. So why would I worry about this?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I love it. Thank you so much, Sandra. Have a fantastic week. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.